All right, here we have the 56. When I first came up, it presents well, but when you get a little closer is when you start seeing some of the cosmetic blemishes or, some stuff that's going to need some attention. Right away, we can see right here where the hood gaps are inconsistent. You can see how significant the gaps are here. The opening is really big here versus the right side. The chrome looks decent. Looks probably needs some polishing there. I also started taking the paint meter readings. We got 5.5 thousandths of an inch there. 4, okay, looking pretty good. 5, 20, so it gets a little heavier there. Chrome looks pretty good here. You can see the gasket where it's broken apart here, and then you can see some cracking as well. I've got plenty of close-ups of all that in the photos, so the video is just a quick little overview, and you can see where there's some rust here inside that's going to need some attention. This one was just a little bit loose versus the other side, where this one's a little sturdier. Looking over here, there's some blemishes there as well. Moving forward here, let's get some more paint readings for you. 12.5. Okay, 19.7. We got some cracking here as well, and then obviously looks like some signs of a body filler. Here we have some slight cracking here on these vents there. Okay, and then there were some more blemishes here as well. Looks good. Windshield, I didn't see any obvious cracks or those bullseyes that you typically see. Wipers look like they're intact, and the roof looks pretty good. But let's get some readings here real quick. 3, so paint's pretty thin here on top. So if it ever needs to get detailed, you got to be mindful of that you don't burn through the paint. Also, the paint was a little rough when I go to feel it there, so it's definitely gonna need a professional grade buff, if anything. Mirror's nice and secure. The bright work here looks pretty good. Some more flaws right here. Let's see how the door opens and closes. Okay, looks good here, but it's just slightly kicked out here at the bottom. Okay, let's get the paint meter readings. 5.5, 4, 6, 6.5. Let's get that quarter. 17, 2.5, 3, 2, 2.5. So low paint meter readings. So the paint's pretty thin, and definitely some inconsistencies. Also, when I checked the fuel filler, stand by. Get in there real quick. It's just kind of just loosely in there, so be mindful of that. Check the spokes; they look pretty good. Tires, I'll look at that a little later on, more in depth. Back window looks good, and here's another view of the top. Okay, back here looks pretty good. I've already got plenty of pictures of the gaps. You can see here in the rear where the chrome is going to need lots of attention. Let's just say it just needs to get redone there. Okay, and let's get some readings back here. 3, 10, 2.5, and 2.5, 2.5. Okay, a little blemish there as well. Again, I've got photos of that. So 4.5, 7, 8, 7. Roof looks pretty good. 7.5, 4.5, 2.5, 5, 4.5. Same door here, slightly kicked out of there on the bottom, but pretty sturdy. Doesn't drop. Closes decent. You can hear where the that's just the clacking noise from the trim there. Looking pretty good. Okay, let's finish off the readings here. 1.5, 6, 6.5. Okay, and then you can see right here where the door does not match the fender, where it's just there's a drop off here with the fender. Just a little bit of surface rust there. Bright work, just slightly tarnished here. Nice and good. Rubber looks pretty good. And finish off the readings here. 8, and spokes look pretty good. All right, I'll continue with the rest of the vehicle. Okay. I also forgot to mention that the vehicle seemed like it was leaning more towards the left. So I went ahead and just got some quick little readings here. It's not much. Right here, we're looking at just 28.25 inches, and then obviously you'll have to convert it for metrics. Let's see here. This one here, going in the center. This one's at 26 3/4. And let's take this here. And yeah, see, this is at just below 28 inches. So there's a significant difference there in the rear. And then we got the fronts at just below 29. Here with the interior, look pretty clean. Door cards look good. Window crakes work well. Door locks, key works. The only thing I struggled with is trying to roll down this rear quarter glass window. I get about this far and it starts to bind up, so I don't mess with it. As you can see, I'm kind of struggling already to get it back up. But the other windows work fine. Looking here in the interior, it's been running again. Let's see here. So the horn does not work. Nothing there. We can see where the ceramics is cracking on the steering wheel. Brake release works, illuminates as well. Windshield wipers, couldn't verify the operation there. Nothing there. I still need to check the lights. Gauges are working. When I turn on the car, I can see them move, all but the temperature gauge. So that's why they're probably running that external. The radio did not work. I can verify the function there. Ashtrays are good. The blower fan is working. I couldn't verify the low speed unless I can't hear it, but definitely the high speed works. I can hear that, and I do feel, some heat. The engine's not very hot yet, oh, and then this lever here just does not stay in the off position. Does not stay in the off position. It just goes over to the back to the right. Again, interior was in pretty good shape. All the other windows work fine. Clock's not working either. So clock, radio, horn, windshield wipers could not verify the operation. Cigarette lighter, I don't know. They never work. All right, and that's it. I've been driving the vehicle here for about almost a good 15 minutes. I did notice that the odometer is not working. The gauges are working. Temperature gauge never did anything, so we just have to rely on this external one. Oil pressure is at normal when I've got the RPMs going. There was no shimming when I stepped on the brakes or when I was driving. Here I'll step on the brakes again. Stay straight. Acceleration seems good. No obvious signs of any misfires or anything like that. Let's see what else. Yeah, no pulsating from the brakes. Acceleration good. Steering wheel. Horn does not work. I think I mentioned that already. Horn doesn't work, and wipers. And I'm going to wrap up the road test here. And going over bumps, I'll go over a little faster. And I'm not getting any clunky noises either. Also, when I do like the figure eight in the parking lot, I didn't hear any bumps coming from the suspension as well. All right, and shifting was seamless.